Hi, I'd like to take a couple minutes to go over a couple of the questions that we get from some of our prospective members. First of all, they ask, how often can I use the land? With an active membership, you have unlimited access to any of our properties. We do have a reservation system where you get online and you reserve land. If you want to make a reservation, you can make a single reservation for up to 10 days in a row. You can have up to 15 days on the books at any one time. This doesn't mean that you're limited to 15 days in a year. This means that at one time on the calendar you can have that many days booked. If you would like to hunt more than that, feel free to hunt a couple of your days, hop on, fill out a harvest report, and then go on and reserve some more property. Another question we get is about guests. Can I bring a guest? Well, your membership with Southern Ohio Sportsmen allows you to bring your spouse, your dependents, and any grandchildren under the age of 18. If you want to bring anyone other than that, you can do it one of two ways. You can either bring them up to 3 times in a 12-month period, and it's a $100 per day charge for that guest. Or you can add an annual guest pass to your membership that will allow you to bring whoever you want, one person at a time, anytime throughout the year as much as you want. So if you hunt with Joe for early bow season and you want to bring Bob in gun season and to hunt with him, then you can do that with an annual guest pass. Another question we get is, will other members be on the same property or section that I am? No. When you reserve a piece of property, it is exclusively yours for the time that you reserved it. You can be guaranteed that nobody else will be out there. Actually, when you make that reservation on our online reservation system, that piece of property will show up as unavailable for anyone else to reserve. If you decide not to use that property, you can cancel the reservation and then someone else can reserve that property for the date that you canceled. But as long as you have a property reserved, it is on the calendar, which you'll see in the system, and it will show it as reserved by you. Another question we get is, how will I know what game is on a particular farm? We have a lot of properties, and there's a lot of different properties, different terrain, different topography. They all go into the same reservation system, whether they are here or all the way out in Kansas. To find out what's on a particular farm, what type of game that property is producing, you go to what we call a harvest report. Anytime a hunter gets done with a reservation, when they come back to the system, they cannot make another reservation until they have entered a harvest report into the system. Now, we're not asking for you to tell us you saw a 150 class 8-pointer on this property. All we're asking is for, if you saw 3 does and a buck, we'd like to know that. We'd like to keep track of our buck-doe ratios and monitor the property to see if they're producing what we want them to. If you see 100 geese come in and land in a cornfield that you're hunting, we'd like to know that. Small game, squirrels, rabbit, whatever it is that you see, we like for you to put it into the harvest report so that you in the future can refer back to that. The other members that might be using that property can refer to that to see if it's holding the game that they are pursuing. And we as management can continue to monitor that property through those harvest reports. So if we find a property that is continuously bringing up zeros, nobody's seeing any game, then we know that we need to get rid of that property and go get a new property. So those harvest reports are very important. Another question we get, how do I know if I qualify for membership? To qualify for membership, you have to have no felony convictions, and no, you can't have major wildlife convictions or many wildlife convictions. Now, there's some wildlife convictions that are going to be the equivalent of a speeding ticket. That's not going to kick you out of membership. But if you are a repeated offender of those violations, there might be an issue. Our goal in this club is to create an organization of good, solid, ethical hunters. If you can't do that, then there's really not a place for you here. We have to have the respect for our landowners to be able to continue to grow and make this as big as possible to provide more and more opportunities for you as a member. So take the time, fill out the consideration for membership form, and we'll be in contact with you and answer any other questions that you might have. Thanks for your time.